Mr. Speaker, since taking control of this House, this Democrat Congress has totally neglected its responsibility to address the domestic supply issues that have created the skyrocketing gas, diesel, and energy costs that Americans are facing today. And no doubt, part of the credit crunch that we are facing today and credit card costs that Americans are facing today is as a result of the high cost of gasoline right now that all Americans are paying. By going on vacation for 5 weeks over August, while I and 138 others of my Republican colleagues stayed in Washington to talk about real solutions for American families, this Democrat majority has proven that they do not believe that the energy crisis facing American families and business was important enough to cancel their summer beach plans or book tours to get the job done. So, again today, the Republicans are here on the floor of the House of Representatives asking each of our colleagues to vote with me to defeat the previous question. If the previous question is defeated, I will move to amend the rule to allow this House to take up a measure that will allow members to be able to vote for a pro-energy bill and prevent members from going home to campaign for re-election without actually passing a bill which will pass and have meaningful reform so that we can lower the price of gasoline at the pump. This legislation that I will be proposing that can be voted on today and that would turn into law would allow states to expand the exploration and extraction of natural resources along the outer continental shelf, not allowed in the Democrat bill that passed 1 week ago. It would open the Arctic energy slope and oil shale reserves to environmental prudent exploration and extraction, not included in the Democrats' bill of a week ago. It would extend expiring renewable energy incentives. It would encourage the streamlining approval of new refining capacity and nuclear power facilities, not included in the Democrat bill of a week ago. It would encourage advanced research and development of clean coal, coal to liquid, and carbon sequestration technologies, which was not included in the Democrat bill a week ago. And perhaps most of all, it would minimize drawn-out legal challenges that unreasonably delay or prevent actual domestic energy production, not included in the Democrats' bill of a week ago. Mr. Speaker, this requirement would finally force the Democrat leadership to take a positive, meaningful action to increase the supply of American energy. It would reduce the price at the pump for American families and use what we term in the Republican Party the all of the above strategy of combining increased supply of American energy, improving conservation and efficiency, and provide for new and expanding energy technologies to achieve American energy independence. Mr. Speaker, I ask consent to have the text of the amendment and extraneous material inserted into the record prior to the vote on the previous question.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Speaker, we're here on the floor debating a bill today that may have unintended consequences of drying up the ability that families have and people have and small businesses have for getting credit. I do acknowledge, or this House acknowledges, that gasoline prices, energy prices are way too high. Food prices are way too high. But people who are trying to live their lives need the opportunity to have credit, the opportunity to be able to have a credit card and to be able to place those expenses on their credit card and then manage their own ability to pay back is what the essence of we should be about, of trying to help people do that today. Not about creating another credit card crunch, not about creating a credit crunch where people don't know whether they're going to be able to get credit or not, and perhaps more importantly, the opportunity for us to give this marketplace for American consumers stability where they know what they can count on, move forward to take care of their families and their small businesses. Mr. Speaker, I would like to say also that we believe that the provisions that were put in the rule specifically addressing the earmark reform or earmarks is unacceptable. It's unacceptable to say that this House will quite likely be voting on a massive bill only to find out weeks later we'll find out what was in the bill and those earmarks that accompany that. And as the gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Flake, noted, that is disappointing. It's disappointing because this House was advised over 2 years ago that this would be the most honest, open, and ethical Congress in the history. Mr. Speaker, I have seen very little to no action on behalf of this new Democrat majority that is open about what they do, that is transparent in what they do. And once again today, with a record-shattering, breaking, new closed rule, we find that they aren't even willing to take ideas from people in their own party. And I think that's disappointing. And so as we wind down this last week that we are here before the election, we find that there are new tricks of the trade that take place from this Rules Committee. I'm disappointed that this new Democrat majority continues that. I support the gentleman from Mr. Flake, what he said. And Mr. Speaker, I would say that that's why I'm asking members of this body not to support this rule and the underlying legislation. Thank you for the time, Mr. Speaker.